I'll represent you several things about we have done in Timișoara. Most of them have been successful, but some of them have been not. And it will be my pleasure to tell you more about the second category. Cities have the capability of providing something for everyone only because and only when they are created by everybody. And I like to start a discussion about sustainable development with this quote, which is coming from Jane Jacobs in 1961. Jane Jacobs was an urban theorist which have influenced a lot the way we are seeing the cities and the way we are discussing about development, a sustainable development. Before Jane Jacobs, more than 200 years ago, Adam Smith wrote an affirmation which influenced the way we created the modern economy. Individual, he told us, he brought us, that individual ambition serves the common good. And you know that this affirmation actually influenced the modern economy a lot. We know that this affirmation is at least incomplete because John Nash in 1944, together with a colleague, created a theory which changed also the way we have looked at that moment at modern economy. And of course, I'm referring to the Nash equilibrium and the theory of games. And, but John calculated, because John was a mathematician. I say he was because he died almost 20 years ago. John told us that it's not enough to have an ambition as an individual in order to create the common good and common progress, but it's also necessary to take care about the interest, the needs of the group. Several years ago, this approach also has been improved, I think, by the paper created by Kate Raworth with her model, Donut Economics, that is aware of natural equilibrium, but is adding also something additional. It's not talking just about creating wealth and prosperity, for financial prosperity for us humans, but for environment in general. So considering humans, but also environment in the same time. Today, we all are in the same ship. And I saw a question several minutes ago before starting my lecturing, if sustainable development should be something which is considered at universal level. It should be. It's not possible otherwise. We can consider that each city is a ship by its own, but that would be wrong and incomplete. The entire world is one big ship. We are all in it, not just human, but also all the living things that directly or indirectly support life. We are together in a journey that depends on us humans if we'll reach a sustainable destination or not. For the moment, the ship is not doing well, and this is the reason probably we organize such kind of conferences. Otherwise, we will not have the motivation to do it. We are on the same ship, and as you see in the image, some of us are helping, and some of us are bringing more water or expecting other person to solve the situation. Solution is not simple at the ship level. Ship is a complex system actually, and it depends on each of us to take some action at individual, but also at collective group level. I would like to invite you for a first interaction. We will have several, and for this interaction, I will invite you to use the technology and to use a tool I'm using right now. To access www.menti.com, use the code I provided you on the screenshot, 8167561, and ask to a simple question to one word. What do you think is the biggest sustainability challenge we face today in our ship. Education, collaboration, politics. If it's easy for you, maybe you complete a proposition, a simple proposition, the lack of or the existence of, and I will wait for one word from your side, probably in the next 20 or 40 seconds. Don't think too much, just speak the first word which is coming to your mind. So, www.menti.com, the first answer was just received, reception. Using the code 8167561. And I will wait for another half a minute in order to see, beside reception, if there are other things which are generating a sustainability challenge, sustainability problem for us today. Politics, inequality, two feedbacks, lack of empathy, greed. All of them are great, indeed. They are our challenge for today and tomorrow. Okay, let's go to the next part. You will have the possibility to send me the answer in the next minutes, because you can stay on these slides for several more moments. I will tell you several things about my experience in Timisoara, because I've told you, and you heard probably before shortly, that I'm an architect. I'm not a real architect, the kind of one which is dealing with real spaces, but actually with virtual spaces. I'm a software architect and also an ecosystem architect. In the last year, my professional activity happened around this question, how to build balanced ecosystems which are helping citizens to improve their life in a city on the long run. Some of the projects, as I told you, failed, and some were successful. And I'm here to tell you several things, very, very short thing, because we have just 10, probably more minutes, which influence the way and we are creating today things in Timisoara. And actually, probably the failures have influenced us and help us to learn the most. One failure is about a map. I remember 8 years ago, I started a small community. Of course, as a software architect, what you can do, you start a small community and plan to build application for your city, application which could solve different kind of things, like solving easier problems which are observed by citizens in your city. And we stayed together as a team of 10 to 15 people, each week meetings each week, and invested in creating an application which, in our vision, could solve all the problems from the city. Of course, at the end, we have a deception, because the city hall and the people who should collaborate on this kind of activity were not interested by this application, and they did not consider it a priority. And this was a hard lesson for us, because all the investment and the energy was without a result. And it was a big failure, because actually the team vanished without a collaboration between us and the city hall, which was not open enough. We did not have a mission or a goal to reach. And this was actually a lesson which helped us in the next period of time to start to map the challenges we have today on index, which is running each month. We are calling this index anti-COVID TM index. And this index is actually collecting from month to month which are the challenges of the city. And we have observed that these challenges and priorities are changing from month to month. Of course, not radically, but big enough change. And we have started with several applications like Creativa to map different stakeholders from our city in order to understand their priorities, their needs, their dreams, their expectations. The second failure was related to direction. You see, an ecosystem is complex. The same like a ship. We have used this metaphor at the beginning of this lecture. And as an engineer, you like complex things. You love them. It's your reason to work. For years, I observed that talking about mappings, technology, open data, standardization, structures, systems and methodologies and metrics are not taking us in the right direction. Actually, I started, and not just me, other engineers too, my colleagues, started to be alone. And our lessons was that we need to use different language. We need to design an appealing vision of where we are going and why do we need to solve this complexity. So we have started to design the journey for the future. And we have started to make it more appealing from sound point of view, from visual point of view, from feeling point of view. And last but not least, we have started to use the second level thinking. What that means? Well, it's not visionary and not smart to buy application you don't need the most. It's not sustainable and not smart to extend the roads in order to have an advantage for the cars, but a little advantage for your citizen. And it's not smart to accept this bad smelling and pollution in your city in exchange for financial benefits. As an action, we have started to create each project with end in mind. And this actually was helping us to win the title of European Capital of Culture. Because if you look at the bid book, which have been used by us, in order to win the title, you will observe that the main goal is the transformation of the city from the mentality point of view. The third one, I will accelerate a little bit, is the team. And I don't have to tell you that if you are part of the team and the team is breaking, this could be the hardest pain to take. And fortunately, we had not too many failures in this area because it takes everything from you, from all the energy from you. And this is happening, and the pain is so big when the team you are working with in order to change something in the city. This team is leaving the ship not because of the ship, but because of the captain of the ship. And this is the reason the pain is so big. The lessons for us was that we need to manage much, much better the dreams and expectation. And we have started to create different teams to manage projects like European Capital of Culture, or developing the tech startups ecosystem, or implementing the open data portal and so on. We have started to create teams which are similar in culture. They have similar visions and similar values, but they are different at the skill level. And they agree to work together in order to improve their language, their habits, their behavior, the tools they are using. And today we have a lot of teams which are working together, part of them for financial benefits and part of them for a good impact for the city. The fourth one and the last one is methodology. You see, in Timisoara, we have developed one of the biggest hackathons in this part of Europe. It's called HackTN. It's the biggest one. I mean, we have each year almost 100 participants, but it's once a year. And even we have more than 100 solutions developed in that period of time. The problem is that they are a result specifically generated for that snapshot in time. If you don't have a methodology to update this snapshot in time, to update the solution to the continuously changing of challenges, of problems a city or community is facing, that solution will become very easily outdated. And this was the reason we understood that the change which is generating an impact is not an action, but it's a process. and you have to be in the process continuously. We have search for several methodology, and today we are using two methodologies with successful results. One is Startup Commons in order to build the startup ecosystems, tech startups ecosystem. And the second methodology is Open Government Partnership. Actually, the bid book for European Capital of Culture title is based on open government methodology. And I'm actually very happy that 1 week ago, not even 1 week ago, several days ago, Timișoara won the special attention from OGP International, and will get their support in order to use OGP methodology with everything which is coming with this methodology, principles and tools and metrics and evaluation mechanisms and working groups and so on. In the last several minutes, I would like to discuss to you about the guy from this image and from the middle, the one inside the red rectangle. His name is Dave Brailsford, and before 2003, you have to know that the British cycling team was doing not good at all. In 100 years, they won just one small title. And it was not a national shame, because this is actually not an issue to become such a big deal at the national level. But it was a struggle, and everything changed when this guy came to them, because this guy used a special methodology which had helped this team to win the most medals in the Olympic from 2008 in 2012. This picture is from London Olympic Games in 2012. They won most of the medals. They had 9 Olympic records and 7 world records. And the reason they reached to this kind of result was that they used a special methodology. And this is the marginal aggregation method, which is telling us that improving 1% each day can take us to extraordinary results. But if you have a look in this picture, the other way around is valid too. If we are failing 1% each day, we are going to 0 in time. And somehow, I think, regarding the sustainability and our care to environment and developing sustainable environments, I think for a long period of time, we took more than we give back. And this is actually my question for us, how we can at an individual level and also at the group level, daily if it's possible, to make this math. Have we generated more than we took from our community, from our environment? And this is a question everyone should take with him. For the last minute, I will invite you to write me several ideas. Which was the essence for you in this discussion? Was the fact that we need the methodology, the fact that we need just 1% in order to get great results in time, the fact that you need to build strong teams in order to change something in your city and your world, and you have to do it with care to dreams and expectation. Is there something else? I will wait for you. I'm not sure how many of you are connected, but you can use the same link, www.menti.com, the same code, 8167561, and tell me which is the essence for you in creating sustainable future, not just for today, but for our future generations. I will leave you with one question. Which is your way for 1%? If not daily, at least at the end of each semester or year. And this is not just for you, it's for our community, it's for me, it's for our city, because our cities, together with all our cities, are part of those persons which are inside in the same boat, the same ship. And we need to have a clear direction and a clear action in order to choose the +1, not the -1. Why we should do that? In order to make a difference for the future, and at the end of this bridge to be a bright one, not the other way. No, thank you. This is everything. That's all from my side.